Hello, my name is Shadaleo. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Persia. In previous episode, we managed to get the, well, I suppose the private sector built the food industry over here, but that is, well, right now it's actually not making us any balance. So we're paying for some of that, but that does allow us to have more food, which in turn should start reducing the grain price at least a little bit. It's maybe not having a huge impact right now. And yeah, the groceries are definitely in high demand. So that's hopefully going to be very profitable in the long run. Right now, though, it might need a wheat farm or something in here just to reduce the price a little bit. But there's not too much I can do about that. We are currently losing a bit of money, building a paper mill as well as another iron mine and logging camp in our capital. But that hopefully will be sorted out. Actually, let's have a look at the decrease real quick. We've still got the road maintenance over here in Herat. We can probably reduce that one, which means that we could probably go ahead and put in a consumption tax for something. Or maybe not. Never mind. I suppose actually there is a way for me to do that. I'm going to increase that one a bit further again. Which does, of course, kind of go against the entire notion of it. You know what? We could increase the taxes. We're going to wait until the money balance is a bit less. But what we're going to do is we'll increase the taxes to high. Hopefully we don't need to keep that for too long. But we can probably do at least a little bit in there. The iron and paper prices are still very high, as well as the hardwood shortage is quite substantial. But that's one of the reasons why we're getting the extra logging camp over here, because that does produce, admittedly not much, but a little bit of the hardwood that we need. And now we're researching the mechanical tools. Oh, right, so in society, we could just get the medical decrease. That is something that I do want to have, and I did get the points for it anyway. So just get that quickly done. That's going to unlock the health system stuff. And I believe that leads to the tragedy hospitals. Yes, it does. So that will increase the population growth quite a bit. Standard living has actually improved somewhat recently, so that's definitely good. And is this, well, this is probably not, yeah, no, it needs another 3 years. How much do we need points? Oh, we need 66. Would lead a bit of a deficit. Can we can probably start that, though. But I don't know if I really want to start that yet. Let me just double check that all the, no, all the government administrations are now using paper. Okay. There is that. Sugar plantations. Oh, I don't know any of the sugar plantations. Right, so is there one over here then? That is technically speaking owned by one of our states. Oh, yeah, it is. Ah, there we go. Low progress adoption. So soon we'll start colonizing. At least in theory. So we're not necessarily going to start utilizing any more bureaucracy right now to incorporate a state in here, which we should probably do at some point, though. Alright, we've got the lead mine. Let's go ahead and get the glass works using some of the leaded glass. Reducing the wood price. It's going to hopefully allow... Actually, that is going to be an increase in glass production itself as well. Probably reducing the glass price a decent bit initially, but I'm sure that there will be some use for it. I do actually wonder, we could go for the market squares in our capital. The service price would be dropping. Transportation price would actually be increasing. It's going to be slightly better paying jobs regardless. Oh, there's another war between Ottomans and Egypt. Egypt is in not a good shape right now. So what is that actually? Lebanon, Transjordan, Lower Egypt, Matruh, Sinai, and Middle East. Okay, so Ottomans are going to be pretty strong over here. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Maybe we don't have to fight them. We'll see. The likelihood of that being the case, though, is quite small. Looks like the Persian Hormuz is actually having some issues with standard of living there. Yeah, it's not particularly great in there. I suppose part of that might be the very high wheat price. I suppose I could just go out and build an extra one in there. We can then maybe later on sell that. Actually, what we could even do... Ooh. Okay, we're getting invited into the war. Who's in there? So there's Serbia, Tripolitania, and Ottoman Empire. Our forces might be just about enough to tip the scales a little bit. Netherlands is another one that might join in. What are they offering me? Guarantee independence? No. I'm going to declare neutrality on this right now. Although that basically means that Egypt is going to be losing that. I'm pretty sure about that. But, you know, it's just... I don't really want to join into war quite yet. I don't think we're ready for a big scale war. We could do a smaller scale war against Kabul, which do have a... They've got 34 battalions now, so they are increasing in size. We don't actually have low enough relations. Actually, no, we do have enough. So that would be, as a result, it would, not a huge amount of infamy actually from that one. We won't really necessarily be able to take any more land in there. What about my mana? Okay, what's our... Oh, we got good relations with them, so we can't declare war on them. Okay, I could guarantee their independence. We don't have enough influence to... Well, they wouldn't accept that anyway. I could try to make them a tributary, I suppose. They would not accept... How far are they from accepting? Actually, not that far. Okay, so potentially we could do a bit of a diplomatic expansion in here. If we guaranteed their independence, we can then potentially get them join the mighty Persian Empire as a tributary first, and then later on we'll annex them. Or turn them into a vassal and then annex them, I suppose. Looks like the paper mill is now active, so that's reducing the paper price a decent bit, which is still fairly high, mind you, but it will not be quite as bad anymore. We still have a fairly decent deficit, but that is now improving at least, and I'm assuming that we get the second iron mine built. Well, we will, let's be honest, but as soon as that is built, that's going to speed up things even further. Getting the extra wheat farm, right, oh, discord within landowners. Sure. Alright, so we do need to get a bit more bureaucracy for sure. I think what we are going to do is we'll go ahead and build another one in... I don't know if I want to build more in our capital. I mean, it's already a pretty decent place for it. Maybe build one in Mazandaran. Not exactly the best construction sector or construction location there, but we can get a little bit better paying jobs in there as well. So we got a good 4.5 million in GDP. Which is, oh, we're actually number 18, so we're overtaking 2 Sicilies. Oh. Belgium has still got about 200,000 ahead of us. Or 226, but... Or 250? No. It's about 200 something. Well, anyway, be as it may, they are still ahead of us. Brazil's got quite a distance on us as well. Which are right now... Oh. Apparently they're a major power. Okay, yeah, it may have changed while we were looking at that. But we should be getting the colonization very shortly. The population is going to be hitting 8 million very quickly as well. Or very soon as well, so that's good. The iron mine shouldn't take too long in our capital. It's got the extra boost in there already. So it's 11% boost there right now with the iron frame building. We will need a lot more iron mines, mind you, to convert all of them. But with the iron mines, we can at least start reducing then... Or with the iron buildings, we can then start reducing the wood use, which can then be used more for population. Because the pop consumption is... quite significant in there, about 360 out of the 800 that is consumed, so yeah, that's a decent bit. Of course, we are going to be increasing the wood production in general as well, a little bit, so that should help. I'm just hoping that the colonization is going to be done now. No, we failed. Right, back to 36%. Well, the iron mine is about to be completed, which should then mean that the construction sector over here, currently the expenses are almost 6,000 over here. Mostly the material expenses are the big one. Of those, the iron price is definitely the bigger one. So if we can start reducing the iron price a bit further, which, there we go, it's reducing it already drastically, which, oh, right, yeah, we stopped the construction for a moment. So that's a part of the reason. Yeah, now it's back to 5,000, but it has already dropped a decent bit. We're still losing money, but not as much as we were before. But with the increase in iron production, hopefully, and then also reduction in wood price locally as well, we can make this somewhat profitable endeavor once more. So I did just now remember that at the start of the series, I did want to explain a little bit why I didn't want to go into Germany quite yet. And that's actually, there's a few reasons for that. One is that I was doing a bit of testing as Lübeck and then Hamburg. And expansion is going to be, like, especially diplomatic expansion is going to be pretty difficult. But first, the Schleswig-Holstein issue needs to be sorted out before you can start uniting the northern Germany and like that. So that's kind of not really, like, it basically would be just sitting in there doing nothing. So I think we will then, in the next playthrough after this one, we'll play as Prussia. But I wanted to get a little bit of practice of doing a bit more military stuff again, because we've been mostly playing on fairly peaceful stuff a lot of the time. So getting a bit of, you know, experience, or like remembering how things work. And, oh, well, there we go. Frontier colonization. I believe we can now, hopefully, can we actually start colonizing? Oh, we need to declare interest in here. Actually, that reminds me, do we have an extra interest? Oh, we do. There we go. So then we should be able to start colonizing this. Because right now, of course, we can't do that yet. We are a little bit over our bureaucracy, which does mean a bit of expenses. We are going to get a government atmosphere. Oh, right, actually. We can go ahead and remove the road maintenance over there. and then get the road maintenance over here to get that wheat farm built faster, which should then reduce the cost of making all the food or groceries over here, and thus reducing the turmoil that might be happening in there. It's actually not too bad right now. Clippers are still pretty high in price as well, which admittedly we're not producing full speed, but that's partially because the wood price is pretty high. Oh, and there we go. The private sector is now building the sulfur mine finally. They are also going to be building some opium plantations, which is always nice. There we go. Can we now start colonizing? Yes, we can. So, Turkmenia. Let's start colonizing. It's, okay, it's actually not too bad of a speed either. I suppose there's no malaria or anything like that, so it's not quite, it's not quite Africa that we're colonizing in here. We're now moving into the steppes, though. So over here, we can't actually build anything yet. There's also not a lot of population, but it's too small of a population to even have subsistence farms, which probably doesn't bode well for the standard of living there. But I'm sure that it will improve soon enough. Yeah, the standard of living is kind of crumbling down there. So we do need to get the extra bureaucracy, and after that I think it might be... Actually, how much is the cost of the construction sector now? It's still over 5,000. So I suppose the wood... I mean, I suppose the iron price is still fairly high as well. There's still a lot of consumption of iron. Overall, I suppose if we get one more iron mine, that should fix some of it. We could always just go ahead and get another logging camp instead. It's just better wood price. I'm guessing the tooling workshop, that is... yeah, it is profitable now. Go ahead and revoke the subsidies. I think it'll be fine. It just it needs to get kind of over the certain hurdle in there to get going. After that, it's going to be good. So we're getting the wheat farms. Now we can go ahead and switch the focus from... for the road maintenance into Mazandaran. Which actually, we're building 2 buildings there already anyway, so that helps. We did get the lathes. I suppose that's... Oh, right. The wood prices and the tool prices are quite high as well. I suppose another thing that we could do in here is we could either get some more plantations, like opium plantations would probably be quite nice. We also want to probably get some more trading going on. How long? Okay, mechanical tools is still 25 months. Okay, that's going to take a while. Medical degree is probably going to be complete before that. I suppose we'll also get the intensive agriculture. I guess another thing that we could do is we could get a university up here. Get that a little bit extra education. Well, not necessarily education, but the qualifications going. And then they can work on better paying jobs, which means that their standard of living is probably going to be increasing. And then they'll be able to get their literary as well sorted out. Because a decent chunk of that is based on the standard of living. At least it increases the education access a little bit. But also we've got the, well, we've got the first level, I suppose. Right now for the education. We'll eventually get some extra levels for that for sure. And have we got on... Still nothing? No. Well, we could have a sulfur mine in here. That's about it right now. That's going to have to wait, I reckon. There's not a huge population in here, mind you. There's 11,000 total. It's currently probably migrating quite a bit. Actually, it's mostly the mortality. It's not even migration. People are having a bit of famine in there, I suppose. Turkmenia itself, it does have a decent bit of room for farming and all that. I'm guessing it's probably not going to take too long for us to get at least some agriculture in there, which means that they can then start working as... Oh, what's this then? Hejaz is having... Oh, Need. Sorry, not Hejaz. Need is having a bit of revolution there. Oh. Oh, is the war between Egypt and Ottomans actually going? Oh, Austria drawn in. Okay, well that makes a bit of a difference. Okay then. Right, so here's going to be our first sulfur mine. It's not really going to be used all that much yet, the sulfur, I don't think. Although once we get the mechanical tools, that's going to allow us to get the paper... or sulfide pulping. We can get steel tools. We can get the... Actually, steel... Yeah, we don't have steel mills yet. That's something that we may need to do. Where's the... Here's the iron mines and coal mines. We might want to get a bit of iron mine going in here. Productivity is not going to be huge. Get 1 iron, 1 coal, and then we can maybe start working on getting some steel mills there as well. So we've got quite a few things being built right now. I'm guessing the iron price is still... it's actually not that bad anymore. It is still pretty bad, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Which means that, well, I suppose we've still got a bit of deficit of the iron, so we're not going to start switching another construction sector to iron frame building quite yet. Although if we were to do that, yeah, the iron price would be bloody massive. At the same time, it would reduce the wood price a bit further. You know what, I'm going to do it. It's going to cost extra, but that's also going to allow us to do more construction work, and I think that's going to be better in the long run. And at the same time, I suppose right now, investment pool is at 1 million. What are they saving up on? Cotton plantation? Alright then. Austria is starting... Okay, Austria is interfering with a lot of wars in here. Oh, they did get the... Oh, right, there's the Heavenly Kingdom revolt now. Well, there we go. That's going to keep them busy. So, Kabul, we may need to... Oh, actually. I think after that, once we get those built, we're going to go ahead and get the... We can get the iron mines in here. Get one iron mine there. I'm going to go ahead and build a arms industry. Losing a small amount of money. We did just get a... Actually, what did we build? We got the government administration, didn't we? Which is going to require a bit of extra paper. Of course, they haven't hired fully yet, but that's hopefully going to allow us to get the bureaucracy sorted out, which right now is losing a lot of money. I'm going to increase the taxes too high at this point. So there's still a small deficit, but it's small enough that it's not going to matter too much. And of course, the construction cost is quite significant. It's almost £15,000 per week, and considering that the total expenses is 40,000, that is a pretty significant amount of the expenses that we have. Subsidies also make it a little bit. Trade centers give some of that, and food industries take a little bit of it. But the food industries, I do want to keep going as much as possible. Which actually, the subsidies, they're not that bad. But the productivity is quite dreadful right now. Hey, we're actually making money again. Unfortunately, the legitimacy has dropped a little bit. Is there any other laws that would change in here right now? The police force, we could try to go for the dedicated police force. And the landowners were not radicalized because of that, but there's not a huge support for it. It would only be 12%. I suppose, actually, is there better government that we could get? We could switch back to the... yeah, we'll get the clergy back in there. The farmers, we do not want to go back to serfdom. We don't want to change these two, so there's not a lot of laws that we can change until we get the charity hospitals, maybe. We've got a year and a half before we get the mechanical tools. So we are at least getting the extra university after the logging camp. Then we're going to go for Isfahan again. Then maybe get back to Mazandara with the decree to keep the construction speed at least somewhat good. The logging camp over here is the... Well, I suppose the iron or the wood price is not too bad. We still need quite a bit in the market, so just getting as much out of it as possible is probably going to be our best interest. At least for the time being. We do produce quite a bit, mind you. And the weekly balance is actually not that great. I suppose the price is dropping a lot. Well, actually, total in the market, it's still pretty high. Well, okay, it's not... It's around the basic value there. There we go, 4.6 million GDP, almost, well, over 24% on leisure rate already. Still a lot of work to do on that front. But we are at least improving the situation slowly. Our prestige, it's not huge. How much do we actually need? We need to have at least 5, or 105, sorry, to reach the unrecognized major power, which is going to take a little while. How's the Turkmenistan? Ah, there we go, we've got a subsistence farm over there. So that's going to at least employ some of the people. Which, you know, they produce some food in there and other things, so the standard of living is probably still going to be terrible, but not as bad as it could be. We're going to have 2 different sulfur mines in there. Okay, we don't really want to build too much in there right now. Eventually we'll want to have at least one of the logging camps, which, to be fair, there can only be like 2 in that entire state, so that doesn't really help too much. The radicals and loyalists are pretty much equal in terms of numbers, so that's, I suppose, fair enough. Oh, there we go. The rule folk are actually influential now. Right, actually, to save up some money, do I still have a lot of the... Hold on a minute. I suppose I can go through the... where is it again? The ledger? No, not the ledger. Buildings. Building registry. And then it's located in Persia. Nationally owned. So there's a cotton plantation, which we could probably... prioritize that one. It's only going to give us £50,000, but oh, there we go, it's pretty much immediately purchased. But that way we can keep the gold reserves a little bit higher, just in case. Plus also it reduces the bureaucracy demand for us, at least a tiny bit. What else do we actually have in there that we could potentially sell already? The iron mines we might want to hold on. I suppose the iron mines are quite profitable. So that would be something that people probably would be willing to purchase. Yeah, we'll sell all 3 of those. Let's see how quickly those are purchased. It might take a while. At the same time, I suppose that will then... Oh, there we go. We got 2 of them at least sold already. I'm guessing they might be the ones up here. No. Or maybe it was just one. Oh, it's the one over here. Okay, so that's purchased by... Oh. It's one of the manor houses in Ormia. Alright then. Oh, and Great Jing won the Civil War. Oh, now we're going to have 3 sulfur mines. We do already have 2 subsistence farms, at least, in Turkmenistan. So what we could probably do in here is get maybe a wheat farm. That might allow us to get at least some food in here. We'll build one over there. And meanwhile, we're getting the university in Mazandara. What's the private sector doing, actually? So it's still working the sulfur mine, and then after that, it's going to get the work on the opium plantation. So we got a total construction speed at 24, which does mean that we're building almost in full speed, at least 1 building at a time here. Of course, once we get a bit more iron mines and all that, we can probably start increasing the construction speed further. We do have the... Actually, how many do we have? We've got 4 construction sectors still, so we can get the construction speed up to 25... Wait, hold on a minute. No. That's going to be more than that, isn't it? 30. 30 is what we can get up to. But we'll need to get more iron into the market. We could, of course, try to do some trade routes, actually. I don't think we need to import the paper anymore. At least not in 2 trade routes. Let's go and have a look at the highlights. So that's unproductive, but we don't produce our own cannons yet, so we're not going to touch that one yet. We could try importing some, actually, furniture. Import that from the Jing market, I suppose. It would require a little bit of convoys, but we have those. We'll get that one underway, and then maybe we can go ahead and export some wine. No, wine would not be profitable. Alcohol. It could be profitable. We'll export some of that to the British market. It looks like those trade routes are now somewhat expensive. I suppose the trade routes that we started with will not cost us anything. But then the extra ones on top of that will. So what do we have? We've got 30,000 population already in here. Alright then, of which of course about a quarter of them are workers. Rest are dependents. Well, there we go. So building the wheat farm there, that's hopefully... I do actually wonder. We could go for the harvesting tools over there, or we could go for the citrus orchards. It's going to reduce the food a tiny bit. Yeah, we're going to keep it a single crop, actually. At least for now. It's how much until the agriculture? That's not going to be too far away. It's already 3/4 done, and we're about the same on the mechanical tools. Once we get the extra university... Actually, we did just get the extra university. What are we building now? Is that in the state? No, it's in Isfahan. Okay, well, that's going to be done fairly quickly, but we're going to go ahead and remove that regardless, and get that in here. Road maintenance. That's going to speed up the construction again just a tiny bit. Eventually, we'll probably stop doing that, because it's just going to get too... bothersome to just switch that constantly, but I think once we, or until we start building 2 buildings at a time, we can probably do that just fine. Because again, the boost from that is substantial. I think we may need to get a bit of extra tooling. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and subsidize the tooling workshop just to get the extra tools in there. The iron price is going to be pretty awful for a while. Also, once we get the mechanical tools, we can, technically speaking, go for the steel tools as well. We don't have the steel mine yet, but we can get the... Oh, right, so we've got the logging camp in here, which is having some issues. Could potentially put some hardwood production in here as well, just to provide that extra little bit to the market. Because the hardwood is still probably in... Well, it's probably not as bad anymore. It used to be pretty bad. But yeah, now we've got a bit of extra... Devout Candle. Are you your authoritarian? I'm going to force you to step down, so maybe we can get something better in there. Not... Oh, royalist. Okay. You endorse monarchy. Alright then. Well, that didn't change too much then. A little bit perhaps, but not too much. We're getting the iron mine in Isfahan is going to be done fairly shortly. That's definitely going to have a bit of impact on our situation. Or reducing the iron price at least. And then we can get the coal mine, which coal mine might not be a huge profitability yet. But I believe it will be... I mean, it's more effective as a fuel compared to wood and or fiber for heating. So that will still be kind of useful. And of course, eventually our industries will need that in large quantities. But there we go. Now we are 7 more months away from mechanical tools, so still pretty far away. But there we go. The lead miner still needs a lot of tools, but that should start reducing the iron price a bit further, making the tool production a bit cheaper. Which over here, we are still hiring. We are subsidizing it, so that's probably costing us a little bit. But at the same time, reducing the tool price is going to be very, very crucial on getting all the stuff. I mean, we currently have a huge amount of buy orders for the tools, actually, of which traders only make 5. There's the logging camps take a lot, construction techs take a decent bit. Then there's the mines, the wheat farm. Oh, hold on a minute. The wheat farms is, yeah, this one's using tools, isn't it? Well, there we are. Mystery solved. And we're getting an opium plantation now. After that, a dye plantation. Well, I suppose the plantations and all that is going to be good enough. Although, actually, where was the cobalt mine? Was it in here? Cobalt deposit. Is there any other states with that? Or oh, yeah, that's also a dye plantation. So dyes are going to be very profitable for us, I reckon. In certain states, at least. Not necessarily all of them. So what we might want to do is to start increasing the production of textiles, really. Which admittedly is a little bit easier said than done. I don't suppose... is there a lot of people buying our... Yeah, there's at least 2 trade routes purchasing our luxury clothing. Also, we don't have prerequisite for any else on that. We are actually over our prerequisite already a tiny bit. It's not that bad of a state yet, I suppose. Is there any reason for Britain to perhaps... no, we don't have the points there. We are still improving relations with Britain, actually. And guaranteeing independence. We're going to keep the friendly relations with Russia, I think. But who should we rival? Oh, there's medical decrees. Kabul, you're going to be a rival. There we go. That's going to give us a bit more influence. And then maybe we can go and propose a trade agreement with Britain. If we owe them obligation... You know what? I'm going to do that. That's going to free up at least a 20... Oh, actually 40. Oh, an Emperor is spreading. Okay, that's good. What are we getting? So, yeah, we're still working on the mechanical tools. After that, we'll get the army reserves. In society, I think we're going to go for the stock exchange after that, just to reduce the trade prerequisite cost in general, plus allowing the prices, local prices to be influenced more about the market access. I think that will actually help a little bit further. Well, the coal mine shouldn't take too long. Mazandaran's having a bit of oh, double declared rivalry. So is the this one's got the mountains, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's minus 10% state construction efficiency. It also reduces the amount of infrastructure. Wait, what do we have? Oh, right. Oh, hardwood output. Okay, looking into throughput. Couple damaging relations. Okay, that doesn't surprise me. They do have a fairly sizable military, mind you, comparatively. But once we get our... oh, right. We're still getting stuff in here. We are having a bit of tensions with Turkmenia, but I think we'll be fine. I'm getting the wheat farm. We could have 2 more things in here, or 4 sulfur mines. Right, that eventually we'll probably build some other stuff in here as well, but we don't want to go too far in there yet. 8 more weeks for the mechanical tools. That shouldn't take too long then. How bad is... oh, right, Mazandara is now the target again. What was it? Isfahan? We can cancel the road maintenance there and put it in here. Speed up construction process again. So it's 21 weeks now for the iron mine there. That's going to be very useful for the construction sector, reducing the price at least. That's currently costing us a lot of money. But it's hopefully not too bad. Mechanical tools we're still building. How much... oh, there we go. GDP is almost 4.9. We have dropped a little bit on the list there. We've still got quite a difference with Belgium. Oh, Confederate States has formed. Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, there's a bit of warfare potentially brewing up in there. Are they already at war? They are. Okay, well, may the best America win. Whoever that is going to be, it depends who wins the war. But anyway, let's go and... oh, right, actually, rather, I can see that the time for this episode is almost over, but we're actually going to go ahead and get the mechanical tools research and get the stuff sorted out for that beforehand. So we'll stretch the episode up a little bit further. Hopefully it'll be still within reasonable... well, it shouldn't take too long, let's be honest. That is almost done. Come on. And there we are. So, furniture, tooling... okay, we won't get the steel tools yet because we don't have steel mill, but we can probably build that soon-ish. The sulfur pulping of the paper mills is going to be very important, and slaughterhouses for livestock ranches could be useful, but not necessarily something we need currently. But let's start with the... oh, right, so the precision tools for the furniture manufacturer. I don't really want to switch to that one. We don't really need that much in there, but the paper mill, sulfur pulping is going to be a must. Because that's going to be... basically, it doesn't actually increase the wood at all. It does provide some demand for sulfur, which we already have a little bit being produced. The livestock ranches, the butchering tools would be quite nice, I suppose, but we do not have really the tools available for that right now. Our tool production is still quite small in comparison. So there's another thing that I could do is just go for the market squares. That's going to increase the service amount quite a bit. Also, improve the employment a little bit to include some other stuff. We could potentially go for the gas street lighting, but we don't really have that much coal, so I'm not going to worry about that one yet. Well, there we go. We got that research done. Let's go ahead and queue up something more in the production. The intensive agriculture will be done already. I think what we might do is just go for the atmospheric engine. That's going to allow us to get some more stuff in the mines. And then we'll go for the railways in the production side of things. We'll still keep a cycle in between the options, but we do want to get the railways done sooner rather than later. So when we start having issues with infrastructure levels, we can then fix that. But with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.